It's not wanting to do that.
There you go. I can see it now.
Can you see it now? It seems like every time I enlarge it, it's not doing it.
I can see it now. It looks great.
Okay, it says paused on my end. All right, welcome everyone to the informational session for the Boston Congress of Public Health Research Scholars Program. We're very excited to bring you this new program. Some of you may not know us, so I will do a brief introduction. So I'm Dr. Candace Carpenter. I'm one of the Chief Executive Officers and Chief Strategy Officer for BCPH, and also the founding but brief director for the Research Scholars Program. However, we have another director that I'd like to pass it over to, Catherine.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Tasis, and I'm a co-editor-in-chief at the Boston Congress of Public Health Review. But like Candace mentioned, I'm also the director for the BCPH Research Scholars Program. It's so nice to see so many people interested in learning about the program today, and I'm very excited to be working with many of you in our inaugural team.
All right, perfect. And I didn't know, Dr. Lecomte, if you wanted to say hello. If not, you might be a little bit busy. So just a little brief information about the Boston Congress of Public Health. So we founded ourselves about 4 years ago. So we are in fact a nonprofit, and our mission is democratizing public health through the lens of social justice, which basically means that we want to be able to make it so that public health is possible for many of you who may be in fact in high school, in college, going to medical school, going to graduate school, but then also for individuals who may not necessarily be at the top of the ivory tower doing public health. That's essentially what our mission is as well. And our vision is making sure that we're supporting emerging and established thought leaders, researchers, advocates, and activists as well. And so one of the interesting things about the Research Scholars Program is that we'll be attaching it to our academic journal. It's the Boston Congress of Public Health Review, formerly HPHR Journal, and then formerly the Harvard Public Health Review, which was established way back in the 90s, and then revamped a few times in the mid 2000s, and then again about 5 years ago. But without further ado, we'll move on to the program overview, and I'll pass it on to my colleague, Catherine.
Sounds good. So as many of you know, the presentation is for the Boston Congress Public Health Research Scholars Program. And just as a quick overview of the program, it will be a 12-week program. And during this time, participants are going to get to work with a public health research mentor, will be considered a faculty mentor. And during that time, you will have the chance to produce one publication, one academic poster, and then engage in one live webinar presentation. Candace, if you can move to the next slide. No, I'm not quite sure if the screen might have frozen on your end too, but I think we're still on slide 4.
No problem. Yeah, I think it's not just,
There.
it was not just showing. We'll try this again. Are you able to see faculty benefits?
Yes, we can. Okay, great. So just continuing where we left off, in terms of faculty benefits, of course, faculty will have the opportunity to engage in co-authorship on a peer-reviewed publication, as well as an academic poster, and we would be offering free publication through the program. We'd also offer recognition in program materials and featured profiles in the journal, as we mentioned, BCPHR, as well as our regular promotional channels, mailer, social media, etc. And of course, invitations to the virtual award ceremonies, which would be happening at the end of the program to celebrate students and their accomplishments, capstone presentations, and networking events. But perhaps most importantly, we'd like to offer the opportunity to help shape the next generation of health equity researchers while collaboratively advancing your own research as well. Moving on to student benefits. Through the program, students will get the chance to learn under professional mentors, and they'll be doing so through project-based learning. We're going to be having hands-on training in research methodology, including quantitative and qualitative methods. And we'll have the opportunities for first authorship on a peer-reviewed publication through the journal, as we mentioned, as well as an academic poster presentation for students as well. We'll also offer access to the BCPH Academy, which you can see some of the courses there on the right-hand side of the screen. These are short courses on a variety of different topics, some which might include epidemiology, research interviews between, as you could see there, Candace, and folks in different fields of public health. And lastly, we will also be offering a formal award ceremony to honor you as students for your successful completion of the program. So to break it down into the program activities, we're going to be starting off with our orientation and onboarding, which will take place in early August, and move forward from that point with the weekly mentor sessions with the faculty mentors. And during that time, the research project development will occur over the series of the 12 weeks with oversight from our leadership team, from the BCPH RSP team on our end as well. During this time, students will also have the chance to engage in that skills building workshop and access to content from the Academy, like I mentioned earlier. And lastly, as you know, the program outputs will be a final presentation, a publication, as well as an academic poster. And in terms of the fall 2025 cohort, this is our inaugural cohort. And like I mentioned, we'll be beginning early August. So August 4th specifically, we will have two separate kickoff sessions, one for the faculty and one for the students as well. And we're aiming to complete the program before November of this year. The outputs, as I mentioned earlier, are threefold. We will be having one manuscript publication where students have the chance to be the first author, one poster or academic poster publication, and a live webinar presentation as well. And of course, there is also the opportunity for a letter of recommendation from the leadership and research faculty for those who successfully complete the program. And really, through this experience, we've designed the program to hopefully equip students with the skills that are needed to gain greater knowledge, as well as confidence in the following areas, such as academic and professional public speaking, critical peer review and academic writing skills, a better understanding of research methodology and design, a learning of manuscript structure and how to structure an academic poster in the form of creating it. And lastly, a better understanding of the peer review process as well, as you get to see your manuscript pass through that stage, all of which will occur under the mentorship and guidance of the public health researchers or faculty mentors that we've provided. So I just wanted to wrap this up by thanking you for your attention and turning the floor to Candace, who will start our Q&A session.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Catherine. So I know that was it in a nutshell, but we want to be able to hear from all of you if you do have more questions, so we can answer things more specifically. But as you know, we've mentioned, we're very excited to do that. It is going to be one-on-one mentoring between faculty as well as students. And the way that we're thinking now is that the student and faculty will be able to decide on exactly what the research topics may be. It may be that students are driving the actual research topic and the faculty guide them, or it may be that they're actual projects that a faculty is already working on, and students are then able to engage in those predetermined research areas. But would love to be able to see any questions in the chat, and I'll make it so that people can also do that in the Q&A. I think, yeah, that is available as well. All right, so a question that we have is this program in person or virtual? It is entirely virtual. So we'll be able to host students and faculty from all over the world. So I happen to be in Los Angeles. Catherine is in Canada. Dr. LeCompte is in Washington, D.C. And we're capable of having faculty and students anywhere because we are virtual. So thank you for that question. So yeah, so a similar question from Jessica. Yes, no obligations that are in person. There's another question. How many available positions are there for students? So we're not entirely sure how many we may take, but it may be anywhere from 5 to 10 students that we take for our first cohort. And our plan is that we want to continue to have this throughout the year. So we may have just one cohort for fall of 2025, and then we may have 3 cohorts for 2026. So depending on the capacity that we have. At this time, there are no scholarship opportunities, so there is a fee for students to pay for the process, which is $600. It is actually quite a value add given the fact that you get the publication, the poster, the presentation, which are those are three things in and of themselves on any kind of graduate or medical school application or college. As well as access to the academy, which we have over 70 different public health courses, and students can get certificates in all of those, obviously up to them. So given everything bundled together, that is more than a significant value. Something like this would typically cost several $1,000s. So thank you for that. There is a question about graduate students. So that does depend. This is aimed predominantly for people who don't have a ton of research experience, but we are open to accepting individuals who are post-bac. So if you've graduated after college and your intention is going on to a PhD program, a master's program, medical school, for those individuals who might, say, be in residency of some sort for a medical or surgical residency, or even a dental residency, et cetera. We are open to looking at applications, but we give priority to those individuals who haven't necessarily had an opportunity to get a lot of research on their resume because it is designed to have on-demand curriculum of qualitative, quantitative research from start to finish, and then learning about the peer review process. Right. And definitely keep the questions coming. Also, too, I'd love to hear from everyone as well. Who is on the call as a potential prospective student who's applying, a prospective faculty, and who is here just gathering information either for students or potential faculty? Would love to hear in the chat. All right. Yeah, so definitely like if you're willing to let us know, if you're a prospective student or faculty, that may be helpful too as well, because then we can flag your application and we know that you attended this webinar. So would love to hear where people are coming from in the chat. If you're potential faculty, potential students, or if you're gathering information for another potential faculty member or student member. Okay, yes. So we had another question as well. So non-traditional students enrolled in a public health master's this fall, planning to apply to medical school. Yes, absolutely. You would be someone that we'd be looking to be able to help. Yes, so we're definitely positioning ourselves to help people get into college, graduate school, medical school, and PhD. So yes, you would absolutely be a good candidate, Jessica. Yes. All right. And then Aisha, yes, you would qualify as well. Okay. Keziah, if I'm saying your name correctly, yes. Just graduated from medical school. Um, okay. And I'm wondering like if you're planning on going to residency or so. So, Patrick, thinking about applying to a PhD or a DRPH program, this program definitely is designed, to help you with whichever endeavor. Ultimately, you are going to be doing public health research, so it can very much position you for a public health degree or medical school because medical school prioritizes public health research actually as well, just as much as it does clinical research. The other thing is as well as that's very beneficial is how quick the program lasts. So we'll be 12 weeks and you get that presentation, the publication, the poster and then the letters of recommendation. So it very much is beneficial for people who are going to be applying during this cycle to whatever it might be, or applying early next summer, because all of that will be very fresh. And depending on how successful the program is, we may be able to offer things to be extended. So you may graduate from the program, but there might be faculty that are still interested in working with you as well. I myself am strongly considering being faculty for the program. I do lots of things besides, being CEO and Chief Strategy Officer for BCPH, and I also teach at a couple different universities, but I am strongly considering being faculty for this program, and so would be interested if students wanted to extend their time past 12 weeks to continue to do that research. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so it looks like lots of prospective students. I'm very excited. Very wonderful. And yeah, any questions about the process of applying? Catherine, if we could go ahead and give them like the exact link for the application, that might be helpful as well.
Yes, definitely. Let me just put that in the chat.
And I guess I'll say a little bit more about the process as well. So the application is fairly straightforward. You also get a chance to do a brief interview, and then you are able to send a transcript that doesn't have to be official. It can be an unofficial transcript. So applying as a student is fairly straightforward. In terms of faculty, for those of you who might be faculty on the call, there is the CV, a letter of recommendation that you have to be able to have an interview, and then a background check as well to be able to be a full-time faculty for the program. Thank you so much for adding that, Catherine. And this is only meant to be a brief informational webinar. So if there are any additional questions, we're happy to wait another couple minutes to take those. And then otherwise, we would look forward to seeing your applications. Thank you for putting those in the chat. And in terms of topics, we imagine that there'll be a whole panoply of different topics that people will be writing about, from everything from maternal and child health, I imagine, to emergency preparedness, to some more unique and niche topics as well, as I said, depending on your faculty advisor or the interest that you might have as well. All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, feel free to email us at, I'll put this in the chat, communications@bcph.org, and then obviously put in the subject line that you're interested in the BCPH Research Scholars Program. Because we'll be starting August 4th, there will be a fairly rapid turnaround. So say if you were to apply today, then you will likely hear from us within the next few days, if not as soon as the next 24 hours. So definitely one of those things where it is rolling admissions. We obviously know that there is a fee and no scholarships at this time for this cohort. However, we're willing to work with students. So if you need to be able to pay in installments, that we'll be able to work with you to make that possible as well.